The Washington Commanders. Interesting team. Last season, the Commanders were not a very good team overall, but they were competitive. They finished the season 8-1. Last place in the division, but they were a 500 team, so you got to give them credit for that. Under head coach Ron Rivera, he's going into his 4th year as the head man in charge in Washington, and for the most part, he's been a mediocre coach for this team. I mean, this team they haven't been as bad as some people would think, right? Their record-wise, I mean, 8-1, 7-10, 7-9. They actually won the division, or they were tied for the division 3 years ago at 7-9. So, and 2 years ago they were 3rd, and then last season 4th. But last season was their most wins since 2016, when they had 8 wins as well under Gruden. That would be Jay Gruden, not John Gruden. All right. So Heineken is the quarterback leading the way, and this guy had under 2,000 passing yards last season for NFL starting quarterback. It's pretty pathetic, but Heineken kept them in games. They got a really good wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. This guy is a stud. I mean, he might be the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. And he's been with the team now. He's led the team in receiving the last 4 years. And he's had how many different coaches? How many different coordinators? Bill Callahan, Jay Gruden, Ron Rivera, right? Case Keenum as his quarterback, Alex Smith, and now the last 2 years, Taylor Heineken. So, and despite all that, McLaurin has had over 1,000 yards the last 3 years. So this guy is the real deal. He's a stud. And hopefully this year they can get better. We'll see. It is a pretty tough division, though. It's a very competitive division. This might be the second, or I would say the third. This might be the toughest division in the NFC. Right? This might be the toughest division in the NFC as a whole. So it's going to be a tall order for the Washington Commanders to make some real noise in the playoffs, or even get to the playoffs. But they had a good defense. They had a top 10-ish defense last season, right? 3rd in yards allowed and 7th in defensive scoring, but they just was at the bottom of the league offensively, and that's why they only won 8 games and was last in the division. So let's see if they can turn it around this year. The schedule is not on their side to do that, but we'll see what it can do. We will see. Let's get the schedule up. Where's the schedule? Right there. All right. Let's start it off with week 1, September 10th on Sunday. Season opener at home, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray coming into town. Kyler Murray coming into town, 1 o'clock on Fox. I think the Commanders are going to win their home opener, right? I think so. And remember, guys, Chase Young played 3 games last year, and that defense was still top 10. So you got to think when he comes back, if he's fully healthy, that defense is going to be even better. But we'll see. You never know. He hasn't, But I think it'll be enough to beat Arizona in week 1. Week 2 at Denver to take on the Donkeys. The Denver Donkeys. This is going to be a 4:30 Eastern start. CBS, 1 o'clock game at Denver in the Mile High City. You know what? I'm gonna give the Denver Donkeys the victory here. Oh wait. Sorry guys. I've already did Denver's schedule, so I cannot. Let me see. Does Denver win this game? I don't know how I missed this. Bad job by me. Sorry guys. We're gonna have to. I need to look at Denver Broncos. Yep, Denver beats Washington in week 2, so this is a loss for the Commanders. So week 3, home hosting the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen coming into Washington, to the nation's capital, to take on that Commanders defense. Now guess what happens? Josh Allen, they're gonna pick apart the Commanders in Washington, and that's gonna be a loss for the Washington Commanders. Now they're 1-2, and then they gotta follow that up by going up to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. October 1st, week 4, at Philly on Fox, 1 o'clock. They lose. So the Commanders are now 1-3. Are they calling for Ron Rivera to be fired? Who knows? Week 5, hosting the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears on Prime Video. That game is going to be an 8:15, 8:30 start on Prime Video Eastern Time, but it's in Chicago. So, it's not in Chicago, it's in Washington. Can the Chicago Bears go into Washington and beat the Commanders? I'm going to say no. I'll give the Commanders a W here at home to go to 2-3 on the season. Week 6, they head out to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play, they say. But this week, the Atlanta Falcons will fall at home to the Washington Commanders some way, somehow. I don't know. You're just going to have to watch and find out. And now the Commanders are on a 2-game winning streak. And they moved to 500. We head into week 7 at MetLife to take on the Giants. The New York Giants. Week 7, they'll lose at the Giants. Then week 8, they're hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles come to Washington after beating the Washington a few weeks ago, October 1st in Philly. The Washington Commanders return the favor at home, and they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So how about that? Week 9, they head out to Foxborough, take on the New England Patriots. They'll lose that game. And then they got to go across country to Seattle to take on the Sea Chickens. They're going to lose that game, because who could make a cross country trip like that from New England to CenturyLink? Is it still called CenturyLink? I don't even know. Up in Seattle, they always change the names. Who knows? November 19th, they come back home to take on the New York Giants, and they will return the favor and beat the Giants at home. That's going to be a 1 o'clock start. Commanders get the win. Then they go down to Jerry's house a week later on Thursday. Actually, a short week, Thursday Night Football. So a short week, November 23rd, at Jerry's house in Dallas and Arlington. Take on them Cowgirls, and they will lose to the Cowgirls. So up and down season so far for the Washington Commanders. They've been winning games, or lose 2 in a row, win 2 in a row. But it looks like this is the theme for the season. As they come back home on December 3rd, they will beat the Miami Dolphins to head to the bye week, hoping to have a strong finish to possibly compete for a playoff spot. After the bye week, week 15, December 17th, at LA to take on the Rams. They're going to beat the Rams in LA at a shocking victory as a 4 o'clock start, as the Washington Commanders are pushing for playoff positioning, surprisingly. And the the Washington Commanders have now won 3 of the last 4 games at this point. Heading to Christmas Eve, they have to come across the country, going from LA to New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets on Christmas Eve. Of course, that's not gonna go well, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna destroy the Washington Commanders. But don't panic, because the Commanders still have a chance. Maybe. Christmas, New Year's Eve, back at home, hosting the San Francisco 49ers. 1 o'clock game. This is an early game. Typically, San Francisco like to play at 4 o'clock. But they're going to be playing at 1 o'clock on Fox at Washington. They're going to lose that game. I'm giving the Commanders the W here. And now, week 18 at home, taking on the Dallas Cowgirls. Final game of the season. This is a must-win for the Washington Commanders. And guess what? They win. So the Commanders, with another victory, they finish the season winning 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 5 games. 1, 2, 3. To finish the year 9-8 on the season. So every team in the NFC East will finish with a 500 record and better again for the second straight year. How about that? NFC East competitive division. I said it. I think the NFC East might be the best division in the NFC and probably one of the best in all of football. So these records kind of make sense. So that is it. The Washington Commanders will be 9-8. It won't be enough to actually. Sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. The Commanders will be 3rd in the division. The Giants will have a below 500 record, according to my calculations. So not every team will be above 500. The Giants will finish 7-10. So the Washington Commanders will be 3rd in the division. And at 9 wins, it's safe to say that they probably will be in a good spot for the playoff spot, because I don't think that the NFC is as great. Like 9 wins in the AFC probably doesn't get you in this year. But I think in the NFC, there's a good chance because of how inferior the NFC is going to be. So that's that. I got the Washington Commanders 9-8, 3rd in the division, and that's the type of season they're gonna have. They're gonna be better than the Giants. I know people are gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but the Washington Commanders, in my opinion, will have a better year than the New York Giants. And I'm not just saying this because I hate the Giants. I don't like the Giants because, they beat my team twice in the Super Bowl. I'm looking at the schedule and I'm going through the games, I'm picking them. Now, could this happen? Maybe. It may not happen, right? But this is my prediction. So, Washington Commanders 9-8. That's the record.